Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much as always for your support. I truly appreciate it. So today I am here to do a quick video. It's a reveal, but it's not what you think. Not at all. So yeah, this happened. Well, there's a big story behind it, so it's going to be a bit chit-chatty. It's not that exciting, so yeah, just it's not that exciting, but there were things that I have felt and learned through this process that I wanted to share with you guys. Let's get right into it. So let's start with the reveal first, and again, don't get too excited. It is a Chanel bag and it came in this magnetic box. I purchased this from a reseller and she was amazing to work with. It was Rue Street Bags and her prices are very fair and her items are exactly as described, and she's very patient and works really tries to work with you. So I do highly recommend her. Came in this magnetic box. And let me just say that she had packed this so well. It was completely protected, and yeah, she just took so much care in wrapping it up that I just needed to share that point with you. And okay, it comes in this white dust bag, which you guys can probably guess what it is. It is, oh my gosh, yes, it is a Chanel Jumbo. This is in the 14 series. It's in the black caviar with the silver hardware. And yes, I do own this bag. Actually, let me rephrase that. I did own this bag. So yeah, here comes the story. So you guys know I do have a Chanel Jumbo, or I did, because actually a few months ago I sold it. And yeah, that's why I wanted to do this video, because I repurchased it, which means I regretted selling it. And I really wanted to share with you guys why I decided to sell it, why I regretted selling it, and how I got to repurchase it. So years ago, where I had purchased another Chanel Jumbo and was contemplating whether or not I wanted to keep that one or I wanted to keep my original one, and it was because of the caviar. I'm going to try to put a picture here somewhere, but my original Chanel Jumbo was a very matte caviar. It was very stiff and kind of grainy to the touch, whereas this, you can see it's a, you know, smoother, shinier caviar, and it's a little bit puffier as well. The good points about my original Chanel Jumbo was that the structure was just amazing on that one. Like, you would not see any structure loss if I had it for 20-30 years. I can tell you honestly that bag would not have lost its structure, whereas a softer caviar like this, you can already see that this like I said, it's a 14 series, but the side is a little bit bulging here. And yeah, this one does have less structure. However, I did mention before that I never was 100% sure about that caviar. I was never like 100% in love with that caviar. And when I made that a purchase previously, I ultimately decided to keep my original one because I felt like the structure was just so much more better. And I was quite content with it. I wasn't 100%, but I was content. So I had owned my Jumbo for about 3, maybe 4 years, and I didn't use it as much as I had hoped for because of the weight. And I did say this before in a different video that the Jumbo, like when you first get it, you think, oh my gosh, it's not that heavy at all, because you hear it so much that it's such a weighty bag. It's so heavy. It's like it hurts your shoulders. But when you actually get it and use it, it doesn't feel that heavy. But after that initial like honeymoon phase ends, it gets heavy and you really do feel the weight. And plus I was enjoying all my other bags that were a little bit smaller, and so the Jumbo did not get used as much. So fast forward to 2020, like I just kept thinking, should I sell my Jumbo? Should I not? And you know, like 2020 was a year of reflection for a lot of us. And I kept thinking, you know, I was never 100% sure about that jumbo. So it was always on my mind, should I sell my jumbo? Should I keep it? And then I added this bag, the Kelly. And then I also added the Birkin. I just got really, really overwhelmed with the fact that I had so many like expensive bags that I had just added on, and it just got really, really overwhelming. And I'm sure that a lot of you know what that feels like. And the Birkin was not a planned thing. It was a gift from my husband, but still it kind of weighed, it kind of made me feel very, very stressed about the fact that I had so many expensive bags and I wasn't using them because we were still not going to events. We're not having a lot of social activities. And so I just stuck to my smaller bags. When I do want to carry a bigger bag, I would just grab this because this is just so much easier to use. It's not as heavy. The Kelly 32 is actually on the heavier side, but it still did not feel too heavy. It had the strap. I just felt like whenever I had to grab a bigger bag, I would just grab this because I just felt it was a lot more laid back, low key. And yeah, like honestly, in the real world, when you're carrying this bag, people don't comment on it unless you go to like a department store, you're in a luxury brand shop or something like that, then they will. But otherwise, you know, just going about your everyday lives, nobody really notices the bag unless they are like a handbag crazy fanatic like we are. But when I carry this bag, people notice and people do look, and I can see people looking because it's Chanel. Like everybody knows what a Chanel bag is. And even me living in a small town here up in Washington, yeah, I got looks when I carried this bag, and I didn't always appreciate the looks that I got. And so yeah, like this was the go-to bag when I wanted a bigger bag. And after I added that Birkin, that was kind of like the nail in the coffin. I thought, you know what, I need to sell something. And I decided that I was finally going to sell the jumbo. So I decided I was going to wait it out a little bit longer because you guys know Chanel had that ginormous price increase in 2020, and I wanted the pre-love market to kind of catch up to the retail, you know, increase. And the pre-love market does take a bit longer to kind of increase up to, you know, where retail is. So I decided I was going to wait. And then I finally, at the beginning of the year, I listed my bag. I had purchased my bag pre-loved at an amazing price. I did make a significant profit when I sold the bag. I still had this like nagging feeling of, did I make the right decision? Shortly after I sold my jumbo, my friend said that she was looking for a Chanel jumbo, and she asked me if I still had mine, and I said no, I just sold it. She was so upset. So she asked me to look out to see if there was a jumbo for sale, and if I could pass that information to her, which I was happy to do. And then another person who had seen my listing for my jumbo contacted me, and she also kind of regretted not purchasing mine. And so, you know, I told her, yeah, I'll keep an eye out and let you know if I see any good deals. And so that's why I was like continuously looking on the market, jumbo specifically. So as I was watching, I noticed that just about a month after I had sold mine, the prices of the classic flaps in the pre-love market just took a jump. And then I saw this, and this was listed really, really well. So I told the two people that I was looking out for that I saw this listing, and both of them were like, no, I was kind of looking more of a stiffer matte caviar like yours was. And so both of them turned it down. However, when I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is the caviar that I always wanted. And the price was just so good for what the market was doing at that time. And I just couldn't look away. And so I contacted the reseller, and immediately she sent me a ton of pictures. She answered all my questions. And I thought about it, and I thought, you know what, if I don't repurchase this now, I may never get the chance to. And so I did. I repurchased this. I ended up paying about $250 more than I had sold my jumbo for. But to me, it was totally worth it because I got the caviar, this shiny, glossy caviar that I had always wanted. And yeah, so I'm really, really happy that I was able to repurchase it, even if it was like $250 more. I think that's a miracle. So a side note is that the person who purchased my jumbo shortly after got bit by the Hermes bug, and so she decided to sell that jumbo. And when she sold it, she was able to sell it for $1,000 more than I had sold it to her, and that was within about a month and a half period. So another trend that I'm seeing is the vintage classic flaps have really gained popularity. You used to be able to see the vintage ones for about $2,500 to $3,000, and now they're about like in the 4,000s, like maybe 4,500 or so. So basically the pre-loved market has completely caught up to that retail price jump that we saw in 2020. So that's my story. I know it's a bit rambly and chit-chatty, but the points that I really wanted to make was, number one, don't settle. Like when I purchased that original jumbo that I had, I did it because of the price. I knew that the caviar was not 100% what I wanted, but the price was just so good that I compromised and I purchased it. And I was never ever really 100% happy with it. And if you see a bag that you love, something about it is off, don't settle, because let me tell you, you will always question it. You will always think about it. You will never be 100% satisfied. So definitely never ever settle is the first point. The second point is don't get overwhelmed. I know, like, when you purchase these expensive items, it can be very daunting and very overwhelming. But don't make rash decisions based on that. Like, I just thought, oh, you know what? I have to sell something. Like, I just couldn't deal with it. But had I waited a little bit longer, I think I would have really realized that I didn't want to sell the jumbo quite yet. And I would have really thought about it even harder. And when you get that overwhelming feeling, just wait it out a little bit until you can be a little bit more clear-headed, is the second point. The third point is, if you don't have to sell something immediately because you urgently need the funds or something like that, it's always better, especially if it's a classic, to wait it out a little bit. So really think about it and really wait it out, because prices can fluctuate, especially if it's right after a price increase in the retail market. I would suggest waiting it out at least 1 year if you can before you sell it, because the prices of the pre-love market, I feel, take about a year to really catch up to the retail increase. And so you might be short selling yourself if you sell before a year has passed. And then final point is, when it comes to Chanel, you want to be not 100% sure, you want to be 1,000% sure about your decision, because the chances are you will not be able to repurchase at that price if you sell it. And secondly, if you realize that you did not make the correct decision, repurchase it immediately before the prices increase again. Because yes, I've noticed that Chanel prices always go up, and they go up quickly. So yeah, you just want to be really sure. All I could think was, oh my gosh, Kat L and Fashionably Amy, I should have listened to you guys. Because if you follow them, you know they always say, never should sell your Chanel bags. Never sell your Chanel bags unless you are like really sure. And yeah, Kat, you are smart to hold on to that jumbo. You are super smart to do that. And I should have listened to you. I should have known better. But yeah, that's my video. I just wanted to point these things out because, you know, I regretted it. And I have never ever felt seller's remorse before, ever. I've always been so confident with my decisions. And yeah, I was a bit hasty. I sold even though I knew in my gut, like, I wasn't sure. And yeah, I'm so grateful that I was able to repurchase this. I'm paying $250 more to get the caviar that I had always wanted. Totally makes it worth it. And you know, it worked out for me, but just wanted to share these points with you guys so that you guys wouldn't make the mistake that I did. So with that, I hope this was helpful for you guys. You guys, I am so in love with this bag. Yeah, I am so in love. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you in my next one. Take care, everybody.